Hello everyone, and we are on natural science grade 7. Okay, we have started with our first lesson on life and living, and we have covered the four spheres of the earth. I hope you still remember them. And we said that everything that is living is on the biosphere. You remember that? And we said bio stands for life. Okay. So today we are starting with a section 1.2 on your textbook, page number 25. Okay. Life on earth. Life on earth. Okay, that is what we're going to cover today. They say that they are unique combinations. Okay, let's start again. They say the unique combination of factors on Earth is ideal for sustaining life, which means whatever different factors we have on Earth, they are ideal to help us keep on living, or whatever the plants, they are ideal to sustain life. And this life, it can be life of animals, or it can be life of the plants. They say that the biosphere consists of the following, right? There are different factors that exist within the biosphere, okay? And the first factors are abiotic factors. Abiotic factors, okay? Which means non-living substances. And we normally call non-living substances inorganic material or inorganic substances. Okay, so what are these abiotic factors that are within the biosphere? It is soil and rocks that is in the lithosphere. Number 2, it is water that is in the hydrosphere. Number 3, it is gases that are in the atmosphere. You remember the gases that are in the atmosphere and which one takes the bigger portion. I hope you still remember. It is nitrogen. Okay, please learn those gases that are in the atmosphere. And also the other abiotic factors is the mineral salts that are in the soil, which is part of the lithosphere. Okay. All right, those are the abiotic factors that are in the biosphere. And the second factors is biotic factors. Biotic means living. Remember, we've also learned that bio from the biosphere means living. So the biotic factors is the living substances. Okay, what are those living substances? They are plants, animals, and microorganisms. Okay, and we've learned about microorganisms, which can be fungi and bacteria. Okay, so we've got two factors in a biosphere, okay, which is abiotic factors, and the abiotic factors are soil and rocks, and mineral salts in the soil are water, gases in the atmosphere. Okay, and the biotic factors are plants, animals, microorganisms. Okay, and they give us an interesting fact here. They say that when living organisms die, they form dead organic material in the soil. I hope you can still remember this when we were doing in the previous grade. I think we were doing electricity. Okay, let's read this fact again. When living organisms die, they form dead organic materials in the soil. The following is what happens to a plant or animal when it dies. You need to know, and I've written it in point format so that you know what happens when a plant or animal dies. Number 1, we have a living plant or animal. And then step number 2, the plant or animal dies and form organic material. Step number 3, the dead plant or animal is decomposed by microorganism. Okay, when the plant dies or animal dies, it is decomposed, okay, by microorganisms, which is your fungi or your bacteria. Now, the inorganic material like water, gases, and minerals remain, okay? And these parts are absorbed again by living organism. Okay, so you get what happens when a plant dies or when an animal dies. You need to know these five steps to explain what happens if a plant or animal dies to form dead organic material in the soil. Okay, and here under just here I needed to show you the water molecule, but I will show you this in the textbook so that you can have a picture. Let's see on your textbook, page 26, there we have a water molecule. This is how water looks like, because the chemical formula for water is H2O, and this is how we represent it, HHO. So we have 2H and O. This is the water molecule. Okay, happiness. Okay, so what we have learned, just summary in short, we have learned the two factors in the biosphere, which is the abiotic, the living substances, and the non-living substances, and biotic factors, which are the living substances. Under the non-living substances, we have soil, rocks, and mineral salts, and we have water, and we have gases in the atmosphere. Under the biotic factors, we have plants, animals, and microorganisms. And then we've also learned that when living organisms die, they form dead organic material in the soil. And these 5 steps is what happens when an animal or plant dies. So you need to know this. Okay, that is life on Earth. Now we continue. We learn about the variety of life. Okay, so by now we know that variety means different things. Okay, so we are going to cover variety of life. Okay, this is in your textbook, page 28 at the bottom there, section 1.3. But I've summarized it in my notes, so you can use the notes in conjunction with your textbook. They say there is a great variety of living organism on Earth. So there's so many species on Earth, or living animals or plant. Okay, we have animal, we have plant, we have algae species. Okay, and they say about 1.8 million of species were recorded in 2019. However, although we know more or less how many organisms we have on Earth, right? They say there are still many species that are not identified. So which means there are species that are living and we don't know about, okay, where they are and what they are. And also there are species that become extinct every year, which means they are just a species that disappears and they are gone for good. For example, in a long time back, there used to be dinosaurs, and today we no longer have them, so they got extinct. Okay, so is what is happening as well to the rhinos. If we kill them, for whatever reasons, at some point there will no longer be rhino anymore, and by that year that we have the last one killed, it means that the rhino will be. So we should be careful of our actions, that we don't extinct the other species or animals. The number of species on Earth changes almost daily, okay, because some organisms are identified, so it increases, and also because some organisms are extinct, it can decrease. So this number changes almost daily. Okay, it can never be fixed. Now they say life exists in every possible environment. Okay, so in every possible environment in the biosphere, life exists. And let's look in detail into the life in the three spheres. Okay, life in the three spheres. We have hydrosphere. What happens in the hydrosphere? We have plants and animals that live in. So they live in fresh water, which is in rivers, dams, lakes, and streams. And they also live in the sea water, on the oceans and rock pools. Okay. And then life in the lithosphere, they say most plants are anchored in the soil. We know that litho means land, so it is the land. Okay, so most plants' roots are anchored in the soil, which means they are underneath and fixed under the soil. And they say many animals live or make their nest under the soil. For example, earthworms and meerkats. Okay, so this is life on the land or on the lithosphere. And life on the atmosphere, let's see, we have flying animals. They say flying animals can fly through the air from one place to another. For example, birds or insects. They even say some seeds and pollen from the plants are distributed by wind in the atmosphere. So you can see that there is life, and that life is different in each and every sphere. Okay, each and every sphere, life is different. Okay, so we have covered the variety of life. So this explains life in different spheres. Okay, this brings us to our next topic. Okay, our next topic covers the life process now. We know that we have a life in different spheres, and there's a variety of these lives in each and every sphere. But life has got processes. Okay, so we will look at life processes. So any living organism performs 7 basic life processes. So anything that is living will follow these 7 life processes. These life processes are what distinguish living from dead. Okay, so if anything is living, it will follow the 7. But if something is dead, it will not follow the 7. Okay, so now let's look at this 7 life processes. In your textbook, they are in page 30 to page 31, and they are in detail and colorful. You can see them there. So the first process is feeding. First process is feeding. So if you look at your textbook there, they say all living organisms require food. Green plants produce food and produce their own food through photosynthesis. Okay, we know this from the previous grades. Okay, and let me try and put this here so that you can see. Okay, just 1 second. I want you to see this from the textbook. Yes, so the first process there is feeding. They say all living organism requires food. Green plants produce their own food through photosynthesis. Animals are dependent on plants or other animals for their food. So the first process is feeding. Okay, the second process is growth. Any living organism can grow. This means that the organism increases in size from birth or germination until it is mature. Okay, for animals is from birth, and for plants is during germination. Okay, so you will be fed and there will be growth. Okay, either in plant or animals. The third process is reproduction, so that we won't be extinct like the organisms that are no longer here these days. We need to ensure reproduction happens either for animals or for plants. Living organisms can all produce offspring through the process of reproduction. This way, the survival of the species is ensured. Okay, so we won't be extinct if there is reproduction. That is process number 3. And let's look at process number 4. Process number 4 is respiration. All living organisms can produce energy in their bodies using food and oxygen. Okay, you will cover respiration in detail in your next grade. This energy is used to perform all the life processes. The process of energy production is called respiration. Please don't confuse respiration with breathing. It's two different things. Okay, two different things. Okay, so process number 4 is respiration. Process number 5 is living is excretion. Excretion. Living organisms all produce waste products. Okay, the body must get rid of the waste products. For example, carbon dioxide. Okay, we breathe in oxygen and we must take out carbon dioxide. That is excretion, we excrete out. If the body does not do that, it becomes toxic and will die. For example, if you can't go to the toilet, you are sick, you are constipated because you can't excrete the waste product. That food that is waste has to go out of your body. If that does not happen, you will be sick. And this process is excretion. Process number 6, life process number 6 is sensitivity. Living organisms can all react to changes in their environment. For example, temperature that changes. That way they can adapt to the changes and ensure their survival. Okay, so now this further explains that animals have senses with which they observe changes in their environment. You know our 5 senses: touch, smell, eyesight, and taste, and the other one. So that is life process number 6, sensitivity. Okay, and senses are applicable to both animals and plants. For example, they say here flowers are sensitive to the position of the sun and can react to it. So the flower will be open towards where the sun is coming from. So that is the sensitivity of the plant. And the last life process is movement. All living organisms, even plants, can move to collect food, for example, or to absorb more sunlight. So we need movement as one of our life process. Okay, that is in detail the 7 life processes. Okay, so here in the notes, I've just put them in short, but I have elaborated and you can go and check more on the textbook. So you need to know the 7 life processes. You need to know these 7 life processes. Okay, and they are feeding, number 1. Number 2, excretion. Number 3, growth. Number 4, sensitivity. Number 5, reproduction. Number 6, movement. Number 7, respiration. Here I've listed them. They are not in the same order as in the textbook. They don't need to be in any specific order, but you need to know them. Okay, so we will stop there with our lesson for today, and when we meet again, we will cover section 1.5, which talks about requirements for life. Okay, so for now you can write your notes on your books, and I will check it for completion. Okay, where you need to paste the diagrams from the textbook, please do so. Okay, thank you.